What?
What's cracking, peeps? It's your boy LEEMAN-X, and in this video we're gonna cover that little murder mystery mission in Kotor 1, where you gotta figure out who done did it. Basically, someone was murdered, there's two suspects, and there's
Sure.
a guy from the Enclave that's trying to figure out who did it, and he asked for your help and your assistance. And so we're gonna go ahead and try to solve this little mystery. So this quest is located on this little bridge with this guy Baluk. You're gonna want to talk to him. So Baluk says, "Apprentice, your arrival here is well timed.
Who the hell are you?
I am Baluk, a Jedi from the Enclave. I was sent by the Jedi Council to investigate a killing that took place here a few hours ago. Communication does not pose a problem, as both the suspects and I speak basic. I was going to handle this case myself, but now you are here, and could be an excellent opportunity for you to demonstrate how well you've been learning your lesson at the Academy. Though you are not yet a full Jedi, perhaps you could assist me in sorting out the truth from the lies.
What do you want me to do?
Listen to the stories given by the two suspects. I've bought an information retrieval droid to access the archives of both the Jedi Enclave and the planetary capital. I will use my wisdom and experience to offer you some guidance, but I will not solve the case for you. There is little benefit if you do not solve the problem yourself. Consider each man's account and check the facts with the information droid. Once you have gathered all the information, and once you've gathered all the evidence you think you need, run through the possible scenarios with me. If you are unable to come up to a satisfactory resolution, then I will take these men to the Enclave and deal with them myself." According to the accounts of the participants, these three men were out here in the field together earlier, before the clouds broke. I find that very odd, as for most people would seek shelter indoors when the sky is filled with dark storm clouds, as it was earlier today. But that is not the most puzzling aspect of this case. The dead man Calder Nedic was shot in the back with a blaster rifle, a rifle that was found lying near the body with the bloodstains on it. It has been sent back to the Enclave for analysis. Two other men were found at the scene when I arrived. One was Handon Guild. He was unarmed. The other was Richard Lussoff, who was carrying a hunting laser. Both men say they did not do anything, and that they came across the body, but both also accuse the other. Obviously, there's more to this than we've been told.
Is there anything else I should know?
There's one last thing. When I arrived, Handon was holding his side, and Richard was favoring one of his legs. You would do well to remember this as we progress through this case. If there is anything else you need, I will remain here while you question the witnesses. Alright, so here we go. We gotta question all the suspects, and then you're gonna go back and forth with that protocol droid and try to help figure out things. Then you're gonna also talk to Baluk also. As you find information, you're kinda just gonna like reference it with them, and they're gonna kinda let you know if you're on the right track or not.
Ah, greetings. You must be assisting Master Baluk in his investigation. I'm Handon Gould. Perhaps you've heard of me?
No, I haven't.
Well, I presume you wish to hear my story, then. I shall tell you, of course, but there's not much to it. I'm sure that you'll agree that Rickard is quite obviously guilty of murder. You see, I was out here running earlier today. Yes, running. I do that a lot. Can't stand speeders, never use them. Keeps me in shape, too, you know. Anyway, I was out running on the other side of that bridge there, and all of a sudden I heard a shot coming from over here. I ran over and found this man Calder lying on the ground, dead.
Did you see the killer?
I saw Rickard come skulking out of the shadows of the rocks south of the river, and I knew something was wrong. I hit my emergency button and called the Enclave right away. Well, there. That's my story. Now, please hurry this up and arrest Rickard so I can get on with my day.
Greetings, apprentice. You must be the one Master Baluk has enlisted to help him with this problem. I am an information retrieval droid. I can assist you by accessing the records of both the Jedi Enclave and the central government facilities here in Dantooine. If you have any need of my services, please do not hesitate to talk to me. I have already retrieved some information from the archives on Kotor, Rickard Lusoff, and Handon Gould. I have also had time to examine the body of Mr. Nettic. Is there any information you require?
What did you find out, you bag of bolts?
My preliminary analysis of the body indicates that he was killed approximately 3 hours ago by a single energy blast to the torso. Is there any other information you need?
That's all for now, and don't get in my way.
Very well. I will be here to assist you.
Another Jedi, huh? Helping that Twi'lek investigate, no doubt. He seems stumped. I'm Rickard Lusoff. Maybe you can figure this out and let me get out of here. Well, I was out hunting Iriaz when I spotted one over here by the bridge. I pull out my rifle and aim at it. I couldn't see it that well, mind you, because the damn sun was in my eyes. So I shoot it and it drops. I walk over here and find Handon standing over Calder's body. So why don't you get this whole farce over with and send that whiner Handon to the prison he belongs in?
Is there any other information you need? My preliminary analysis of the body indicates that he was killed approximately 3 hours. Is there any... These plains are rife with wild animals, not all of them benign. The Iriaz are mostly docile, but can easily be provoked to violence. Calfhounds, on the other hand, are much more deadly. There have been over 35 catalogued attacks on settlers by calfhounds in the last 2 weeks. A general advisory was given out 3 days ago to carry a weapon at all times when on the plains. Small farms and holdings dot the plains and can provide safe refuge for those in need. Is there any other information you need? Very well.
Alright, let's run all this information by Baluk and see what he has to say about everything. Yes, is there something I can help you with in this investigation?
I want to discuss the murder.
Very well, we should start at the beginning. If we find the truth behind each piece of the puzzle, we will no doubt resolve the case. Handon said that he was nearby and heard the shots and ran over, only to find Calder already dead. He said Rickard came out of the shadows across the rock holding the blaster. Rickard said he was hunting areas and saw one through the glare and shot at it. It is possible that Rickard may have shot at Calder accidentally and Handon may have found the body, but that seems very unlikely. It is more likely that one of the two is lying. Obviously, one of these men is not telling us something, but where does the truth lie?
Handon's lying. Fat people always lie. He also didn't mention the weapon found by the body.
True, he didn't mention it, but he didn't deny it either. It simply had no bearing on the question asked. I do not believe this is definitive evidence. What he said was not directly false. If you are unable to deduce the facts from the case, I will have to take these men back to the Enclave and deal with them myself. But since you have talked to the suspects, there is no harm in trying a bit more.
Okay.
Very well, I believe you may have yet a chance of solving this. Where does the truth lie?
Rickard is lying. It was a cloudy day. There was no sign of glare.
Yes, well done. It was very cloudy this morning. If it had happened as Rickard said, the sun would have been visible at the time of the killing. You seem to have caught Rickard in a bit of a lie. It seems I was correct in assuming you could help me with this case. The lie doesn't prove Rickard is guilty, but I think you have taken the first step in unraveling this mystery. We should proceed on to the next point. We need to find a motive for the killing. Maybe you should talk to the men about their relationship with the victim. If there's anything else you need, I will remain here while you question the witnesses.
How can I be of further assistance? I knew him a little bit, but I was not any sort of great friend to him or anything. I never really associated with him that much. In truth, I didn't really want to. He had a reputation. Very inconsiderate of family, I heard. But merely having heard unkind things about someone wouldn't make me want to kill him.
Hey, bro, calm down. Nobody said you killed him yet.
Of course, of course. Listen, if you need anything, I shall be glad to assist.
So, what do you want to know?
But Luke said you were limping. Are you hurt?
Well, I kind of sprained my ankle running through the bush before I found the body, but it's nothing that serious. So, what do you want? Yeah, I knew him. Hell, we've known each other for a good long time. Doesn't mean I really have to have liked the slime ball. Maybe I shouldn't be so hard on him, especially now that he's dead. We actually got along pretty well most of the time. We just had our differences. We were actually business partners. We were involved in some orbit-to-ground transport operations for Aerotech. Can I leave now? I should probably be the one to give the news to his wife. So, what do you... I told you already, didn't I? Was hunting some Irias. Haven't seen many in the area recently, what with those cat hounds acting up. But they're still around. Was in my blind a little south of here when I spotted one, like I said before. I shot and pow, it went down. But when I come over here, there's Handon standing over the body and the Irias was gone. Now I don't have nothing to do with this, so can I go now? So, what do you want to know? You Jedi are so predictable, always seeing some greater purpose behind everything, when the simple answer is usually the right one. Can't you see that it must have been Handon? I found him standing over the damned body. I don't know why this is causing you so much trouble. You almost seem as lost as this Bullock guy.
Hey, watch your tone. That's all for now.
Right.
Is there any other information you need?
Tell me about Calder and Handon.
The Southwood Speeder rental business has records that over the past several weeks, a speeder had been rented by Mr. Nettic and Mr. Gould. Is there any other information you need?
What can you tell me about Calder and Rickard?
According to the municipal authorities near the Garang spaceport, there had been news of violent drunken activity in a cantina attached to the port. Apparently, a Mr. R. Lusoff was making accusations at a Mr. C. Nettic about cheating him in a business deal. Jedi Tuka was dispatched to the scene and restored order. Is there any other information you need?
Now, I don't love Calder, but we go back a long way. We run a suborbital shipping and transport company out of Garang Spaceport. We've been partners in that business for well over 20 years, and we've been doing just fine the way we are.
You can deny it, but there was bad blood between you two.
Right.
I want to discuss the investigation.
We knew Rickard lied about the sun blinding him while he was shooting, but we need to get more. Let's examine the relationship between them. Handon told me he barely knew the victim. On the other hand, Rickard and the victim were business partners. However, according to Rickard, they got along quite well. On the surface, neither men seem to have motive of killing Calder.
Handon's a lying sack of shit. He had rented a speeder with Calder. I know he's lying.
The Southwood Company record did say that Calder and Handon had rented a land speeder together several times. This shows that he did in fact know the victim, but this hardly counts as motive for murder. I'm afraid I can't accept your judgment at this point.
Look, bruh, check this here. I know Rickard is lying. They had a fight over business matters, and you know how that ends sometimes.
It is not unusual for business partners to disagree sometimes, but if he found proof that Calder was cheating him, well, that certainly is motive for murder. The case is now taking shape. However, we mustn't jump to quick conclusions. Perhaps we should focus on the murder weapon itself. You might want to see the information the witnesses and the information the droid can provide itself.
Yo, droid, tell me about the weapon on the scene, yo.
We cannot get any more specific analysis from that sample other than the fact it did not belong to Calder. Is there any other information you need?
So, what do you want to know?
What about that weapon you found on the body, bruh?
That blaster? Never seen it before. Calder himself had a preference for Echani weaponry. He had this one really nice light blaster rifle that he always used. Always wished I could get myself a rifle like the one he had. That blaster ain't it, though. Calder only had the one rifle, too, so he either must have borrowed that, or it's someone else's.
How can I be of
Alright,
further
now let's
assistance?
talk to you. What do you know about that blaster?
That blaster was stolen from my house last week. I never knew what happened to it. I hardly have enough money to afford a single blaster, let alone another. I can't tell you how important it is to have a weapon on hand with all these ravenous calf hounds around. Even an Irias can take a man down if it gets in the mood. Every settler has a weapon. It's our most prized possession. I would most appreciate it if I could have that back after you determine that Rickard is the killer. How can I be of further assistance?
You knew Calder better than you admit. You rented a speeder with him.
But I realize this must seem like a motive to you, but I assure you it isn't. I dislike Calder, true. I would punch his face in given the opportunity, but I would not kill him.
Punch his face in. Why?
My wife was cheating on me, Thor.
Oh,
I
shit.
slept in my own bed while I was in the next room. But, as much as I may hate him for that, I could not kill him. It may have been my own fault for driving my wife away. I must try not to take the law into my own hands. I was just out running, trying to clear my head for the divorce proceedings, not stalking him to kill him. Running is not a crime.
Ooh, that's a lot. Alright, bye.
Of course, of course. Listen, if you need it.
I am sorry, but I seem to be failing you. I have searched and searched, but I cannot seem to come up with anything at all. I thought to find the record of the missing weapon report Mr. Gould filed with the authorities, but there does not seem to be one. Is there any other information you need?
The blaster's handed, and he lied about it being stolen.
So, caught him in a lie. Interesting. But I think we may need one final piece of the puzzle. There was a blood sample on the weapon that had been sent back for analysis just before you arrived. Perhaps you could inquire with the information droid about it.
Is there any other information you need?
Tell me about the blood sample, you shady droid. Should have told me about that a long time ago.
I have just received back an analysis of a sample of the blood found on the weapon. It had been sent back to the Enclave just before you arrived. The blood on the weapon is definitely not Calder's. Unfortunately, there was a bacterial contaminant in the sample that had been taken back to the laboratory, and it had become degraded. We cannot get any more specific analysis from that sample other than the fact it did not belong to Calder. Is there any other information you need?
Yo, you're holding your side. Are you injured, bro?
Injured? No, of course not. Why would I have been? Fit as a bantha. I run. I don't know if I mentioned it.
Alright, but Luke, this is what I know. The gun did not belong to the victim.
That is surprising, so the blood must belong to one of the suspects. But which is it?
It's Handon. He's clutching his side.
Handon has been moving oddly since I arrived. Perhaps we should examine him a little more closely. There is blood. Handon appears to have suffered some sort of blaster wound. It seems there is one more likely scenario. Rickard killed Calder for cheating on him in business. While shooting Calder, he must have hit Handon by accident.
Wow, mind blown. You know what?
An interesting theory, but what would you base this theory on? What possible motive would you have?
Calder was cheating with his wife.
Yes, I concur that is a good motive for Handon to have, and Handon being the killer matches the facts of the case that are present so far. And you have made your judgment in this case.
I can leave now, then?
Stay out of trouble for now, okay, bruh?
What? No!
Yes, Mr. Gills, there's something wrong. Do you not feel justice has been done here? Do you not feel you should be taken to the Enclave for sentencing?
No. If I'm going, I'm not going alone. You don't know what you've done.
What are you talking about, bruh?
Look, I came out here, I admit, to kill Calder, but so did Rickard. He must have thought it was Calder when he shot and hit me. So I'm going to prison, but I shouldn't be going alone. Did you idiots have to let the slime ball go?
It appears your investigations were incomplete. I imagine if we examine the business record, we will discover Calder had been cheating Rickard. The information would have easily been accessible to the information board. You should have looked into that during your investigation.
Yes, you tentacle-headed moron. I came out here and killed Calder, but Rickard was here to do that too, and he shot me by mistake.
I will return to the Enclave with Mr. Guild in custody, and I will also have the authorities apprehend Mr. Lusov. It is minor inconvenience, but one well worth the lesson. I realize your judgment was incorrect, but I allowed you to make the mistake, and understand that there's always consequences to our actions as a Jedi, and must always remember this. Alright, so I half got it right. Thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, this definitely is kind of an annoying quest. I actually used to just skip it when I was younger. I hated this mystery so much I could never solve it. But anyways, at least you do know what exactly happened, and I will catch you guys on the next one. I'm out.